As a young attorney representing elderly New Yorkers, I saw firsthand the gap in access to civil legal services for the poor and near poor. Many of my clients had been the victims of abuse at the hands of their caregivers. Others needed help accessing the benefits they were entitled to by law. Some faced serious financial hardship or help in creating a sound end-of-life plan for themselves and their families. So in 1990, I co-founded NYLAG to provide free civil legal services to elderly and other low-income New Yorkers. While many publicly funded programs limit their services to the abject poor, our mandate is much broader, enabling us to also serve the near poor and working poor. The 2008 economic crisis only confirmed this need for proactive and preventative services that help people who are living just above the poverty line from falling over the edge. I constantly encourage our attorneys to dream big to build NYLAG's capacity. We have exceptional leaders on our staff who pursue specialized projects to meet emerging community needs. For example, NYLAG's Domestic Violence Initiative was spearheaded by a young attorney as a response to the 1995 O.J. Simpson murder trial. This program later grew to become NYLAG's full-service matrimonial and family law unit, currently staffed by over 20 attorneys and paralegals. And by the way, that young attorney, she now leads that unit. NYLAG is a mature organization with solid fundamentals. We have a talented staff, a supportive board, dedicated volunteers, generous funders, and skilled partner agencies. We are aggressive and nimble, quickly responding to new policies and emerging needs with innovative programming. We are particularly adept at working seamlessly across our various divisions. For instance, an elderly client who we are helping with a Medicaid healthcare problem can also resolve her debt issues by receiving assistance from our consumer attorneys and financial counselors. NYLAG is unique for our ability to mobilize quickly in response to natural disasters and other crises. We also have the advantage of a multicultural and multilingual staff who speak over 20 different languages. We are pioneers in the concept of community-based lawyering. Thanks to strong partnerships with over 300 health and social services agencies, our attorneys work on-site at dozens of locations across the area. For example, NYLAG has sites in 20 local hospitals and in New York's family, housing, and civil courts. Our Mobile Legal Help Center, the nation's first combined law office and courtroom on wheels, travels directly to isolated neighborhoods providing services to residents who would otherwise lack access to the justice system. The vehicle is also an amazing asset in crisis situations. For example, a domestic violence victim can meet on board privately with an attorney, and through our direct video link with the court system, she can actually appear before a judge and receive an emergency order of protection against her abuser. Civil legal services produce direct, tangible outcomes. Successful cases result in real dollars for our clients in the form of new or increased benefits, child support awards, and reduced rent or interest payments. But we take it one step further. With the help of outside experts, NYLAG has developed a system of monetized metrics that assign present and future values to our less tangible outcomes. For example, when we prevent an eviction or a foreclosure, we are keeping a family in their home and saving the societal costs of a shelter. When we help a parent win child support from an abusive spouse, we are keeping that family off of public assistance. When we help a disabled individual get Medicaid health care, we are preventing emergency medical costs that drain our healthcare system. And through successful impact litigation, NYLAG corrects systemic injustices for hundreds of thousands of vulnerable people annually. People are often surprised that NYLAG is a volunteer-driven organization. If you walk through any of our offices, you will see volunteer attorneys, law students, college, and even high school students working together alongside NYLAG's paid professional staff. In partnership with law schools, we run intensive year-long clinics for law students. Supervised and mentored by NILAG's attorneys, these students advocate on behalf of clients while gaining practical legal skills. Every year, volunteers donate more than 100,000 hours to NILAG's clients, vastly expanding our ability to serve those in need. We could not possibly serve 50,000 people each year without this extraordinary use of volunteer talent. NILAG was the first and largest provider of disaster legal services after Superstorm Sandy. Within 24 hours, we had set up a storm response unit that helped 5,000 people in the first 6 months. We were the first legal services provider to respond to 9/11. 48 hours after the terrorist attacks, we set up tables for legal intake in downtown Manhattan and ultimately served over 2,000 affected families. When the financial crisis hit, we spearheaded the creation of a foreclosure prevention project that has helped thousands of people keep their homes. In 2001, we founded what has become the largest medical legal partnership in the country, helping over 17,000 patients and training more than 5,000 doctors. NILAG is one of the largest providers of immigration legal services in the nation, serving more than 9,000 immigrants each year. We have helped over 50,000 Holocaust survivors around the world receive monetary compensation in recognition of the suffering they endured. And we are particularly proud that with our technical assistance, our innovative programs are being replicated in communities around the world. While everyone is familiar with the right to counsel in criminal cases, no such right exists in most civil cases. Each year, more than 2.3 million people in New York State are forced to navigate the civil justice system without the benefit of counsel. 99% of tenants are unrepresented in housing court. Nearly 100% of litigants are unrepresented in consumer matters. 97% of people appealing denials of public benefits are unrepresented at their fair hearings. Even victims of domestic violence do not have a right to counsel in divorce, support, and custody cases. 50 years ago, the United States Supreme Court recognized as an obvious truth that in criminal court, a person cannot be assured of a fair trial without counsel. Today, I believe it is an equally obvious truth that in civil legal proceedings, it is extremely difficult, if not impossible, to be assured a fair outcome without a lawyer's help. Despite NILAG's enormous growth, the demand for our services continues to outpace our resources. While everyone who contacts us receives a case consultation, we are still only able to represent 1 out of every 10 clients who calls our intake lines. NILAG has gotten very good at leveraging our staff-to-volunteer ratio. Each new attorney we hire increases our capacity to mentor and supervise volunteers, effectively translating that 1 attorney into 3 attorneys. Our paid staff attorneys are remarkable. For them, NILAG is not just a job, it is a way of life. They put in long hours, often working nights and weekends, to ensure their clients receive the highest caliber of services. If we had additional resources, we could increase our talent base exponentially, bringing justice to more people in need. Civil legal assistance is a critical component of any effective human services program. There is, however, a fundamental lack of understanding of the value civil legal services can bring to major poverty-fighting initiatives. Building NILAG services into the ground floor of these programs can prevent a host of problems from appearing down the road. We can dramatically increase the impact of health, welfare, employment, and other efforts. From an investment standpoint, a recent study reported that civil legal services deliver a return on investment of $6 for every $1 spent. At the human level, NILAG services enhance and enrich the effective delivery of the essentials of life to marginalized and vulnerable populations.